Good morning, folks. The subject for today is grahas. Graha means seize in English, something that seizes your mind. And in Tamil, it can be translated as koal. Koal means an influencer, a cosmic influencer. So all the Navagrahas are cosmic influencers influencing us, influencing our mind, influencing the terrestrial creatures in the earth. What are the different types of grahas? There are three different types of grahas. Illuminary grahas, non-illuminary grahas, and chaya grahas or shadow planets. The only illuminary graha in the solar system is Sun, which is capable enough to emit light. There is no other graha or planet which has the capacity to emit light. Sun is the only powerful planet which can emit light, because of which we see the sunrise and sunset. Without sun, there's nothing, no life on earth. The rest are non-illuminary. The rest of the stars are also non-illuminary, which actually gains light from sun. And there are two chaya grahas also called as shadow planets. They are Rahu and Ketu. Why we call them chaya grahas is they do not seem to exist, but they do exist. And I will cover that later in the video in terms of how they exist. But they're called as shadow planets. They're also called as moon's north node or moon's south node. Now we'll talk about sun or Surya, which is the only illuminary planet in the earth. And Surya actually is very powerful. He's called as the Atma Karaka. He signifies your Atma or soul. And he's also called as the Pitru Karaka. Pitru Karaka is nothing but father. Right. So if sun is very strong in a horoscope, it means there's a lot of support coming in from the father. And sun is also the king in the solar system. So there's also a notion that he gets a lot of support from the king. And these days there's no king or a queen. It is the government, right? So probably if sun is in the 10th house or ruling the 10th house, or in the 6th house or ruling the 6th house, it is said that he can get into a government job. Then comes moon or Chandra. Chandra is called as the Matrukaraka or mother. It is a significator of mother. It is also a significator of the mind. It is the fastest moving planet. It takes about 2.25 days for moon to cross each and every Rashi. And in this process, it touches all the key planets, and hence it carries the energies of all the planets. And since moon has moon also represents your mind, and it carries all the energies. That's the reason why you see your mind fluctuating during the course of the day. Very easily fluctuates. And there comes yoga, where you can actually kind of stabilize this energy by various yogas. Moon is actually, they say that it is not a malefic, it can't be rude. But it is said that the waxing moon is good and the waning moon is supposed to be malefic, because the mind strength lowers as and when it actually wanes, whereas when it waxes, it gains more strength. And I forgot to mention about the sun's capacity to move. Sun moves about 1 degree every day, which means it covers one complete Rashi. It covers 30 degrees in 30 days. That's the reason why you see every month sun keeps changing. Sankranti happens every month. And Makara Sankranti is when sun moves into the Makara Rashi, which is celebrated in the southern part and even most of the northern part of India as well, because it's the harvest season. So, but every month sun moves to each and every Rashi. When it moves to Mesha, it's called as Mesha Sankranti. When it moves to Rishabha, it is celebrated as Rishabha Sankranti. That's the reason when it comes to Makara, it's celebrated as Makara Sankranti. Okay, what is Buddha? Buddha is a Buddhikaraka. Buddha represents knowledge. Buddha is called as a Buddhikaraka. Buddha represents calculation. So if people who are in the auditing firm, or people who are doing a lot of calculations, people who are CFOs, people who are in the finance domain or commerce domain, they will all have a lot of Buddha energy in them. Their horoscopes will be strong. The Buddha will be strong in their horoscopes. So Buddha represents knowledge, Buddha represents intelligence, Buddha represents calculation, a lot of calculations to be performed. What more can be a representation of Buddha than Narasimha himself? The Narasimha Avatara, Vishnu took Narasimha Avatara and he had to get the Buddha energy in him to kill Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, as we all know, got the bone from Brahma, that he cannot be killed by a human being nor by an animal. He cannot be killed neither in the day nor in the night. He cannot be killed inside the house nor outside the house. He cannot be killed being on earth or in the sky. And he cannot be killed by any normal weapons, any man-made weapons. He cannot be killed by a human being nor an animal. So these were all the rules, and this was the boon that Brahma had given to Hiranyakashipu after his long penance. And finally Vishnu had to get the Buddha energy in him, and he took the avatar of Narasimha. And Narasimha is neither a human being nor an animal. Okay, and he kills him in the courtyard, which is the Vasapadi, that is called in Tamil. And he had to make use of his claws, the nails, which is not a weapon, man-made weapon, it's a natural weapon. And it was not during the day nor in the night, it was during the dusk time. So all these calculations were involved, were all taken care by the Buddha energy in Narasimha Avatara. So such is the power of, the calculative power of a Buddha. Now, is Buddha a malefic or a benefic? If Buddha is with another planet, which is a malefic, then Buddha gets afflicted. An afflicted Buddha becomes malefic. If Buddha is with another benefic, a natural benefic, then Buddha gives a lot of positive results. Then it also behaves as a natural benefic. So such is the quality of Buddha. Now moving on. Of course, Buddha is also an adopted child of Brihaspati. It also represents adopted kids. A strong Buddha in a horoscope who are not able to conceive can go in for an adoption. That's also one significator of Buddha. Now coming on to Shukra. What is Shukra? Shukra is nothing but the planet Venus, and Shukra is the lord of the Asuras, the guru of the Asuras. And the only planet which listens to Shukra is Rahu. Naturally, because he is the lord of the Asuras. Shukra is the Kalatra Karaka. So Shukra represents spouse. So when two horoscopes come for marriage compatibility, a bride and the groom, or would-be bride or a groom, in the groom's horoscope, the position of Shukra is seen. Shukra represents all the worldly pleasures. Shukra represents happy marital life. Shukra, well pleased Shukra will bestow the native with a very happy marital life. So Shukra becomes the Kalatrakaraka because he is the guy who actually gives wonderful love life. With a strong Shukra in place, one will be very happy in their marital life. And that's the reason why we call him the Kalatrakaraka. Now coming to Angaraka. Angaraka is nothing but Mars, also called as Koja. And he owns two Rashis in the zodiac sign. One is Mesha and the other one is Vrishchika. I've made a video on Mars. The video is called as Be Proud to be a Martian. Please watch out for the video to get details about the planet Mars. It's a high energy planet. It's also a red planet and a very angry planet, very fiery planet, a fiery planet, and lots of energy. That's the reason why a native with a strong Mars is advised to get into the army, because Martian is actually a great sacrificer apart from being angry and being highly energetic and trying to attack enemies. Watch out for my video to know more about Mars. And Mars planet is actually the commander in the zodiac system. While Shukra becomes the minister, Mars becomes the commander-in-chief. Moving on to Brihaspati. Brihaspati is nothing but Guru. Brihaspati is called as Jupiter. And he owns two Rashis. One is Dhanusha Rashi and the other Rashi is Pisces, which is also called as Meena. Brihaspati means the protector. And in a female horoscope, the position of Guru is very important because the husband becomes the protector for the female at some point of time. So a strong Brihaspati will bestow the native, a girl, with a very good husband. And that is what is seen first in a horoscope when it comes to marriage matching for a girl. He is actually a protector, and he also helps in the progeny for a girl. So Jupiter is not well placed in a girl's horoscope. It means that she might be denied of progeny. Of course, the remedies do matter. Brihaspati becomes a person with high amount of wisdom. While Buddha represents knowledge and intelligence, it is Guru who actually comes and bestows the individual with wisdom. Brihaspati is nothing but God himself. So the position of Brihaspati, in a horoscope, becomes very important because he is God himself. So he is the advisor and he is the minister in the system. Next, coming to our favorite planet, which is Shanishwara, Saturn. Shanishwara is my favorite planet actually. After I started learning astrology, he becomes my favorite person. Till then, I was very scared about Saturn with all the stories around, with all the Sade Sati 7.5 years Saturn period. But as I am learning this subject, I feel very comfortable with this planet Saturn. More than Guru himself, I feel very connected to Saturn because he is the guy who comes and teaches. And if you all know, every blessing of Jupiter, every blessing of Guru, Saturn has to come and say that, okay, fine, go ahead. He has to come and ascertain it. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you deserve. So that is such is the power of Saturn. And yes, of course, Saturn. We go through this period of 7.5 years where Saturn is in the 12th sign from your moon sign, and then in your moon sign, and then second from moon. That's a 7.5 period life cycle. It goes through a tremendous time for many people. For some people, it is quite smooth. So Saturn is actually called as the Karma Karaka. He is responsible to ensure that your karma is actually negated. As you come into this life for existence, there is a lot of things that you owe to people, and that is negated by Saturn. So he is called as the Karma Karaka. So even the work that you do in your professional life or the work that you do in your family, being as a household person, it's all your karma, and Saturn is responsible for it. He's responsible for the Sati period also, and he's a natural malefic. Unlike a Jupiter who's a natural benefic, Saturn is a natural malefic, but not in all cases. In certain horoscopes, Saturn himself becomes a functional benefic. So it depends from native to native, but overall Saturn is considered to be a natural malefic. He rules two signs. One is Makara Rashi and the other one is Kumbha Rashi. Those two signs are owned by Saturn. Then comes the shadow planets, which is also called as Chayagraha, that is Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are actually moon's north node and the moon's south node. They are also called as dragon's head and the dragon's tail. They do exist in the zodiac system. I'll make a separate video on Rahu and Ketu where I will tell that which are the exact points of the north node and south node of the moon. Astronomically, they do exist and they are responsible for causing the eclipse as well. And of course, even the Amavasya and the Purnima, the moon's north node and the south node do play a role in this. So I'll make a separate video on that. With that, we come to the end of Grahas, and I would be happy to have your feedback and your questions. Please raise it in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching this video.